What's up, everybody? It's Highway here. Today, we're talking about something super important for anyone dreaming of exploring Europe, the Schengen visa. This thing's your golden ticket to 26 incredible countries, but getting approved means nailing the application. Trust me, I get it. You've been saving up for this trip, meticulously planning your itinerary, and the last thing you want is a rejected visa application. That's why in this video, we're breaking down the 3 absolute must-have documents to maximize your chances of approval. First up, the most obvious one, your passport. This small but mighty document is your gateway to exploring the wonders of Europe. This little book is your key to unlocking Europe. But there are a few crucial things to double-check before you pack your bags. Make sure your passport is valid for at least 3 months beyond your planned departure date from the Schengen area. This is a strict requirement that you cannot overlook. You need at least 2 completely blank pages for those shiny new visa stamps. These pages are essential for your travel documentation. Visa officers need space to work their magic, and if there's no room, they might just decline your application. It's better to be safe than sorry. And here's a pro tip. If you're running low on pages, consider renewing your passport early. This can save you a lot of hassle down the road.
Now I know what you're thinking. Graham, my passport is practically brand new. Tons of pages left, no problem. That's awesome. You're ahead of the game. But seriously, double check those dates. Even a brand new passport can have an expiration date that sneaks up on you. I've seen it happen too many times. People get so caught up in booking flights and accommodations that they completely forget to check their passport validity. It's a common mistake. Don't let that be you. Always make passport validity a top priority on your travel checklist. Remember, a valid passport is non-negotiable. Without it, your European adventure could come to a halt before it even begins.
Alright, next up, travel insurance. It's one of those things you hope you never need, but you'll be glad you have it if something goes wrong. The Schengen visa specifically requires travel insurance that covers medical expenses up to at least 30,000 euros. This is a non-negotiable requirement for entry. Medical costs in Europe can add up quickly, especially if you need emergency care or hospitalization. Even a minor injury can lead to significant expenses. Imagine breaking a leg skiing in the Alps and getting slapped with a medical bill that makes your jaw drop. It's not just the treatment, it's also the potential evacuation costs. Travel insurance acts as your safety net, protecting you from the unexpected. It ensures you can focus on recovery rather than worrying about the financial burden.
And listen, it's not just about medical emergencies. There are other aspects to consider. A good travel insurance policy can also cover lost baggage, flight cancellations, and even trip interruptions. These can be just as disruptive and costly. Now, when choosing travel insurance, don't just go for the cheapest option. It's important to look at what each plan offers. Take the time to compare different plans, read the fine print, and make sure you have adequate coverage for your needs. This can save you a lot of trouble later. Think about your itinerary, any adventurous activities you have planned, and your overall risk tolerance. Make sure your policy covers all the bases.
Chapter 3. Proof of accommodation, where you'll be hanging your hat.
Finally, let's talk about proof of accommodation. You need to provide concrete evidence of your accommodation arrangements. This could be hotel bookings, a rental agreement for an apartment, or even an invitation letter from a friend or family member you'll be staying with. Now here's a crucial tip. Make sure your proof of accommodation aligns perfectly with your itinerary. If your itinerary says you'll be in Rome for 3 nights, but your hotel booking only shows 2, that's a red flag for visa officers. They need to see a clear and consistent plan for your trip, and any discrepancies can raise doubts about the legitimacy of your application. Consistency is key here, and it's always better to double-check all your bookings and reservations to ensure they match your travel plans.
Another important point. If you're staying at multiple places during your trip, make sure you have proof of accommodation for each location. The visa officers want to see the full picture, so be thorough and provide documentation for your entire stay. This means if you're traveling to 3 different cities, you should have hotel bookings or rental agreements for each city. It's not just about where you start and end your trip, but every stop in between.
And here's a bonus tip. If you're staying with a host, make sure they provide you with a signed and dated invitation letter. This letter should include their full name, address, contact information, and their relationship to you. Remember, the more detailed and organized your documentation, the smoother your visa application process will be. A well-prepared application not only speeds up the process, but also increases your chances of approval. So, take the time to gather all necessary documents and present them in a clear and orderly manner.
And there you have it. Getting your Schengen visa doesn't have to be stressful. Just make sure you have these 3 essential documents in order. a valid passport, comprehensive travel insurance, and solid proof of accommodation. Be prepared, be organized, and most importantly, have an incredible time on your European adventure. Don't forget to smash that like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe for more travel tips and tricks, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Safe travels, everyone.